Welcome to the Rustic Garden Homestead. This video is all about getting your eggplant off to a great start. Through the video, you're going to see eggplant that I put in early, around May 1st, some eggplant that I put in around May 25th, and eggplant that I just put in a couple days ago, but grew much longer in a half-gallon container in my greenhouse for 12 weeks since around germination. The whole key with eggplant is to get it into the soil when the soil is warm. It really likes soil temperatures above, I think, 70 degrees Fahrenheit in the top 4 inches, 10 centimeters. That's when it thrives and takes off. You're going to see the problems that I had with the eggplant that I put in early. It just didn't grow well. And it's going to be all right, but it's way behind all the other plants that went out a little bit later. Also, I'm going to talk about how do you treat flea beetles. That's the bane of my eggplant here in Maryland Zone 7. So let's get started and look at the first eggplant that I put into the ground and the flea beetle devastation that happened. These plants just didn't thrive, they didn't grow, and the flea beetles really damaged them. Here's a really good example of the holes that the flea beetles will put into your eggplant. And they'll still chug along, but they're not going to be productive if you don't take care of the issue. These are eggplant, and all these holes are caused by flea beetles. And you can see one crawling around right there. There's actually 2 of them. Flea beetles will devastate your eggplant and also your tomatillos, and they do affect other crops. There's another flea beetle. We can pan over to here real quick. See all the holes in the leaves. More flea beetles. Now, the first thing that you want to do is make a note. So these showed up today, May 10th, and I actually knew they were going to be coming. Usually I start putting down the dust. I'm going to show you how to use insect dust to control these guys. If I don't treat these, I'm not going to have any eggplant. But I got a little bit lazy. I didn't put the dust down on May 1st, and really over the last 3 days, the flea beetles have just put all these holes. Look at them. All these holes in there. So, 2 things we're going to do. First thing, we're going to feed these with a water-soluble fertilizer, and then we're going to feed them again in 10 days. We want a lot of nitrogen to get more leaf growth back, get these plants going, and then we're going to dust them with an insect dust. Any water-soluble fertilizer works. Now, you don't want the leaves to be soaking wet when you put down the dust, or even really the area. You want the area to have dry leaves, dry soil. This way the dust stays dry, the insects crawl over it, the flea beetles will crawl over it. But in this case, I'm just going to water the base with the water-soluble and just give it a nice big drink. And you could do this in the morning and put the dust down, a couple hours later on a sunny day. A lot of water-soluble, putting down today, again in about 7 to 10 days. And this will just help grow leaves and get the plant back on track. The insect dust is like baby powder or flour. It's just a dry dust. You can go organic, and I am not affiliated with either of these products. They both work. I find the chemical type 7 does a little bit better, but you can go with Captain Jack's organic. It has spinosad, and it's just a white powder. Same with the 7. That's human made. That's a chemical type. What we're going to do is just dust the leaves. Something like that. Nothing fancy. That's a little bit too much, but that's plenty. Let me just get in there. And you just really want something like this leaf. Have it on there so that the flea beetles crawl through it. They're very active. That's going to kill them off. You also want to dust the whole area around there. The dust from the 7 container comes out a little bit easier. You want to dust the surface soil too, so that the flea beetles around there will, crawl over and die off. You can use either one. What's really important, right now, there are no flowers on the eggplant. So I'm not worried about good insects coming, so I will dust any time of the day, and I'm just gonna leave it on here, If it rains, I'll replace it, a day or 2 later. If there were flowers on this, if the plants were bigger, I would actually dust almost when it's dark, when the pollinators go away, dust the leaves in the morning, rinse everything off, and then I do that again for another day or 2. That will help control the flea beetles. When you have an infestation, you want the dust to be around for a good 3 days, 4 days, just to kill them off. And then you want to stay up on it. So about every 7 to 10 days, dust again. Eventually, you can kind of knock out the life cycle, but flea beetles are very persistent. They're going to keep coming back. As for what product you choose, that's up to you, chemical, organic type. However, the 7 Dust is so much more easy to kind of sprinkle across the soil and the plants. If you save some of your kind of red pepper flake containers or anything like that, grated cheese, you can just put the Captain Jack's, if it's coming in this type of bottle. Sometimes it comes like this, you just gotta look around. I don't recommend this nozzle, but if you end up with something like this, it's kind of hard to get on your plants. Just pour it into a repurposed grated cheese container or something like that, and it's gonna make sprinkling a whole lot easier. Eggplants really like warm soil, so getting them out early in the season doesn't do really a whole lot of good for them, except it sits them out there to be, decimated by flea beetles and stuff like that. When you have been taking care of your soil, the soil here is now about 6 years old, 6th season, and you're putting down compost at least once a year. You're putting down cut grass, hay, leaves, straw as mulch, shredded wood. The soil becomes beautiful, and I just want to show you what good soil looks like. This is nice. We've had tons of rain over the last 4 days, and there's no water pooling in there. You don't have to spend a lot of money once you've been kind of practicing taking care of your soil. Compost, leaves, grass, you just keep adding it year after year, and the soil really takes off. So I will link a video that shows you how to set up the planting hole. It's the same thing just about every year, varies a little bit, but you'll get the idea. If your soil wasn't the best, you could still dig a hole out like that, fill it full of compost, half peat moss, half compost, handful of any organic granular fertilizer, and then just mix it through really, really well. That will give a great base for whatever transplant you're putting in this case, of course, eggplant. I like this eggplant. Let me just show you why it's a great transplant. There are leaves, let's keep it in focus, coming into the joints. That's perfect. The top looks good, nice and green. Some yellow leaves at the bottom that I'll take off eventually. Good sized root ball, but this is perfect. Let's see if I can pop this out. This is just really a nice transplant. Starting to get a bit coiled, a little bit past its prime, but overall this transplant was really taken care of. We're just gonna loosen the roots, get them going in different directions, and then we're gonna drop it into the planting hole to just about where my fingers are, and really just something like that, and then we're gonna fill it in. If you were making a planting hole with some amendments, remember, you don't want this to be sitting on top of a pure pile of the dry organic granular fertilizer. This soil, like I said, is really good. All I'm gonna do, plant the plant. I'm gonna put down some grass clippings that have been sitting in my lawnmower for far too long, about 1 inch, 2 inches, maybe 3 inches. That will dry out. It's already decomposing. It smells terrible because I left it in the lawnmower bag, but that's gonna have nitrogen that'll be kind of rinsed into here when it rains. It'll break down, it'll keep moisture in here, and it'll keep this bed prepped for the future, because worms are gonna love it. They're gonna digest the grass, whatever organic matter I put down, and that's gonna keep building the soil. The other thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit it with a water-soluble fertilizer, get it off to a great start. A good spacing for your eggplant is about 2 feet. I tend to plant things more closely together. Southern sun comes in this way, western sun this way. They're gonna get plenty of sun. I'm not gonna put any crops in here that are gonna shade them off. They'll do really well. Just wanted to, again, focus on the soil. Those are alfalfa pellets. It's about, I don't know, 25 bucks for a 40-pound bag. I use that a lot, and I sprinkle it across the surface of the soil. I do different things with it in that I put it down first, then I put leaves on top or grass on top. Sometimes I mix stuff into the planting hole. It's just an inexpensive way to purchase your dry organic granular fertilizer. It's a nice low NP and K. It's got a growth hormone. I have plenty of videos on it. I will link one. But you don't have to spend a lot of money is my point. Once you're taking care of your beds, just making your own compost, throwing down the leaves, everything I said, the bed takes care of itself. The worms will take care of the soil. And this is just beautiful stuff over time. Notice there's not a lot of wood product in there. I have that issue with a lot of bag soil products that filled with wood. You're better off taking care of your soil. My soil, believe it or not, is heavy clay. And over the years, it's turned into something like this, and it's perfect for planting. This is the grass. It's been in the bag for several days, and it stinks, but it's starting to decompose. And I'm just going to scatter it down, making sure it's nice and loose. I don't want big, wet mats of grass in there. It's even warm because it's decaying. I mean, this really should go out as fresh cut, but this will work fine. This is what you want to do, is put down leaves, the grass, whatever you have, because it's going to pay dividends going forward. So this is going to keep the moisture in. This is going to feed the worms. It's going to feed the plants, and it's going to take care of everything. So let me fix this, and then we'll get to the fertilizing and the watering. It's actually been 3 weeks since I put these transplants in. And in this video, I just wanted to show you that these techniques work. So pretend this was the day of the transplant. Because they're transplants and they have a small root ball, you just want to get in and really just soak the root ball. You want to water the plants every 2 days, 3 days at most. Because they have such a small root ball, they're not able to pull water in from all around the area. So now that we're 21 days in, I can go back to just a nice deep watering. Let me show you what a deep watering is, at least once a week in real time. So because the root ball of the transplants are small, 10 days, 14 days, you water every 2 days. Once the roots are established, they can be pulling in water from everywhere that you see me spraying. And you just want to take the time, I like to show it in real time, and you just want to give a nice deep watering. The mulch is doing the trick. In a couple of weeks, I'll put more mulch down. But people always ask me, like, how much water is a deep watering? And it's hard to figure out, but it's something like this. That you're not just soaking the top 4 inches, 6 inches, 10, 15 centimeters of the soil. You're putting in enough water to really get past that 12-inch, 1-foot depth, 30 centimeters. And I know watering sometimes, watching it in a video is a little bit boring, but we tend to underwater our plants. And yes, they still produce, they still do pretty well, but if you just give them that extra watering, 1 or 2 a week, they really thrive and do a whole lot better. So this is what I consider pretty much a deep watering. After I water, I'm going to hit them with a water-soluble fertilizer. On the day of transplanting these, I'll show you what the pour looks like. It's just going to be about 3 seconds into the base. Now that they've been growing 3 weeks, 4 weeks, I hit them again with the water-soluble fertilizer. The water-soluble fertilizer I'm using is AgroThrive. I'm affiliated with them. Check out the video description. It's a wonderful, organic water-soluble. Water-soluble means these plants can pull in the N, P, and K, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium right away. If this was day 1 of the transplant, I would just do 1, 2, 3. Quick pour like that. 1, 2, 3 for a new transplant. For plants that have now been growing for about a month, I'm just going to do a quick watering around the base area of the root system. Just something like that. And I would still go in, maybe give it 5 seconds right at the base. And that's plenty of a water-soluble fertilizer to get these plants growing. Really, I'm not going to worry about feeding these until maybe August again, once they're producing. But just look how great they look. 3 weeks from transplant, there's still some damage from flea beetles. Let me show you the tip I like to use when the plants are flowering. Today's June 16th, and just a quick recap. Because eggplant love warm soil, they really like the warmth. These went in around May 23rd, 24th, 25th, and they're beautiful. Grew them a little bit longer in larger containers, kept them protected in my greenhouse, put these in later in May, and they look great. Here are the eggplant that I put in around May 1st, maybe a couple days earlier, when the soil temperature was cooler. They're the ones that, got hit by the flea beetles really bad. And they just aren't taking off yet. So I'm gonna hit them again with the water-soluble fertilizer. They're recovering and they're gonna be fine. But the point is just getting these out early. That's all I'm doing for these. Quick pour. Getting your eggplant out early when they love the warm soil, not just warm temperatures, but really warm soil. I think they like the soil when the temperature is 70 degrees Fahrenheit or warmer in that top 4 inches. They just love the warmth. They're just gonna sit around and they're gonna be bait or food for the flea beetles, and they're just not gonna take off. So there's no need to rush these plants out. Flea beetles and eggplant don't go together here in Maryland. Now, you can do what I was saying. You can put the dust on in the evening when the pollinators go away, when you have flowers showing. And then, rinse it off in the morning. That can be a lot of work. Or you can do a trick that I like to do. So when everything is dry, I put this out a little bit early, dust your mulch. This is grass clippings, and flea beetles don't really attach well to the plant. So if you have them, you can just give the plant a really big shake. They're gonna fall on the ground, walk through it, get killed off that way. Or you can also put a little bit of dust on the outside of the leaves, not a lot. You're not putting it up top where it can fall on the flowers. Keep it away from the flowers. And this will provide really a lot of protection against flea beetles. And then every couple of days, really, you just come, give it a shake. After it rains or you water this away, you have to do it again. But you want to stay up on whatever routine you use to manage the flea beetles. I mean, these plants are looking good. They're flowering. They're going to start to form fruit pretty soon. And they're just going to double in size almost every 7 to 10 days now that the soil is really warmed up. You still have plenty of time to pick up some eggplant transplants. You don't have enough time to do them by seed right now. I think this plant is about 12 weeks old from germination, 10, 12 weeks. Grew really well, had a lot of heat. Pick up a transplant, even if it's a little bit beat up, do some of the tricks that I showed you. But these plants are going to establish and take off really between, I think, beginning of June into that first week of July. You have plenty of time to drop an eggplant into the ground. The main point is really don't rush the eggplant out into cooler ground. Even if it's warmer for some of the other warm season crops, they just enjoy the heat, as I've been saying, in the root zone. And that's gonna make all the difference. Put your plants in at the right time with the right conditions. They grow really fast, and they can sometimes fend off disease damage much better than when they're just sitting there shivering, so to speak, and being chewed up by flea beetles in the case, hey Willow, in the case of the flea beetles and the early planted eggplant. It was planted as a seed a little bit later than some of the plants you already saw, but because it had the right conditions, it just thrived and grew really well in the container. No flowers yet even. Because it was a bigger container, the root system did what it needed to do. The plant just grew a lot of greenery, and it's not flowering, prematurely. This plant's gonna be great. Went in a couple days ago, so I do wanna water this every couple of days. I did not give it the water-soluble fertilizer yet, so I'm giving it a big drink now. That will help it continue to grow. But again, new transplant, larger plant, going out around, June 13th. The plant looks great. Kept it in the container much longer, gave it the conditions it wanted warmth-wise, and the plant's beautiful. We'll see how they do over time if you want to subscribe and follow me. Now, I want to make sure I water this every second day, third day, for a good 10 to 14 days until the roots establish. Thanks so much for watching. Please check out my seed shop at therustedgarden.com. I sell tomato and pepper seeds, $1.75 a pack. All other seeds are only $1.50. Going to be doing a lot of videos on tomato care for late June, July. How do you keep them going? Tomato plants are doing really well, looking good. Again, thanks so much for watching.